I've been already doing acupuncture and massage at the time, and I noticed that there was a problem with the system. So the clinic would charge something like £50, £45 per treatment. I would get half of it, and the clinic would take half. But that meant that loads of people, like most of my friends at the time who were musicians or kind of like, self-employed people in the early 20s at the beginning of their way, they really couldn't afford to come and see. I couldn't afford to come and see me if I needed to. And then you had this whole, population of people who are excluded for something that I think should really be for everybody. And I really wanted to find a way to balance, therefore about balance, make it affordable for everybody and still make it kind of what we call fair trade for therapists and for teachers, so they're still going home with a good wage. And I think lockdown was very different for a lot of different people. All of our classes went immediately online, and we were giving options for people, because we know so many people have lost their jobs, and so we were giving options for people to, rather than pay full price or Karma card price, we kind of put an option of £3 on all of our classes. Just, if you can't afford anything, just like £3, just come and practice. That whole time of not knowing, not feeling safe, not knowing what's going on, how long would it last, is it safe? I suddenly really noticed for myself how difficult these last 3 or 4 months were. I have one really beautiful client. I love her, and she's not English, she's here to study, and she built this beautiful life for herself in England. She was living in a student dormitory, she had a lot of friends around, she was coming here loads, she was going to the gym, she had everything going for her. She built herself this really beautiful, really well-balanced life. And suddenly, everyone from where she was living went home, so she stayed alone in a room. She was too afraid to go and cook in the communal kitchen because, loads of people kind of mixing. So, the gyms were closed, the yoga was closed, she couldn't have treatments, and she was isolated. I saw her when she was just back, and I was like, are you okay? And she really, mentally, she wasn't, and I asked her when was the last time she had a hug, and it was like about 3 months ago. Oh, that broke me. That really broke me, because we talk about safety and trying to keep healthy, and mental health is equally important. And I think people don't necessarily give this the same emphasis, of like, it's like not having COVID and not spreading the disease is important, but not being isolated is important. People lost their family, people lost their parents in care homes and whatnot without having the chance to say goodbye. People died alone. When we opened, because we had to change our classes from 16 people in class to 6 people in class, which is a bit different, and even with that you can see like they're not always fully booked at the studio. People are still being hesitant, but now all of our classes are hybrid, so all of our classes are live at the studio, but you can also join it online, so people don't feel the need that that they're going to miss out on their yoga, they're going to miss out on their practice, on their community. I think coming to About Balance is more about just coming to a yoga class or coming for a treatment. We want you to have the whole experience of being with people, of being able to then take a book, sit down, read a book, have a coffee, have a whole experience of being part of a community, because otherwise you can do the classes online, and many people still prefer to do it online, and that's absolutely fine. But then if our yoga is online, and our entertainment is online, and our communication is online, and our sex life is online, and like everything we do is being consumed in our house in front of our computers, then it's really, is it a life worth living? I don't know. I think technology has a lot to be said for, and it's incredible, but I think that there's nothing like, you know, there's so much more when you actually see a person in 3D, like an actual person, and you see them smile and you can talk to them and you can have a little, like, it's so important, you know, and there's so much more that you can get from that. So yeah, coming to class isn't just about like, oh, should I practice from home or should I practice in the studio? It's about being part of something. Community, Sangha, it's just about Sangha, yeah. Hugging each other safely from a distance.